Says I'm live. Okay. I thought I would come on. I've been experimenting and it's been kind of fun. And I thought I would come on and share manifesting in your business. So you don't have to have a business. This can be manifesting in anything, right? And I want to start by saying we are always manifesting, okay? It's just become a buzz thing through so many people, kind of like the Gen Z millennials. Like all you have to do is go onto social media, go onto TikTok, go onto YouTube, and it's like you are inundated with information about manifesting. So we're always doing it, right? We are always creating every moment all day long, whether we're doing it consciously or not consciously. So yeah, I'm just going to start there because, and here's the thing. Okay. I'm like, where do I want to talk? There's so many things, before I get into like my experiment, but like, if you feel like you've tried all the things, even if you're somebody who maybe you like signed up for like one of these expensive courses to learn how to manifest and you're like, it didn't work for me. Or maybe you manifested one thing, but you couldn't like repeat it over and over and over. Again, we have the ability to consciously create every single thing we want in our life all the time and repeat it again and again and again. So I've been playing around with it in my business, okay? Now, I first learned my manifesting blueprint, I don't know, probably 4 years ago. I think 4 years ago. So our manifesting blueprint, and yes, we all come with a unique blueprint for how we manifest. Now, if I was to just show this to you, this would make no sense to you at all. And for me, it really did, like, I struggled to really like ground it into like the physical, which again is what happens, what we do whenever my computer goes off. It's like such a difference, but it's a great light. It's like a perfect ring light. So yeah, we all come with a blueprint. So essentially what this is, what our manifesting blueprint is the framework for how we are designed to shift vibrationally, to shift vibrational states from one to the next. Because as I've talked about many times, if you've followed me for a while, you know I've talked about everything in your current reality is vibrationally aligned to who you are right now, in this moment. And if you want something different, you have to change that. So how do we do that? Oftentimes we are haphazardly, we are just doing, and maybe we happen to create something. That's how I used to manifest before. And in my blueprint, not just my manifesting blueprint, but actually like my divine soul blueprint, my main gift is divine manifestation. So like, that is what I am mainly meant to be able to do. It's all through my blueprint. It's quite hilarious. But anyways, so we are always doing this. Again, whether we're doing it haphazardly and we just manage to like, but the point is you should be able to just do it when you want and when you need in your life, however, again, it is. So business, we can get very specific, right? Because business, like maybe we want to manifest more money, more clients, more opportunities. Like maybe you really want to be like out there in the world and you want to be seen and you want to be up on stage speaking, you want to be on podcasts, you want more opportunities. So maybe that's what you want to manifest. But you don't want to just do it once or twice or whatever. You want to be able, again, to duplicate over and over and over. So again, your manifesting blueprint, and that is your framework for how you do that, how you shift vibrationally. And again, so you can do it again and again and again. And I'm just going to like add in here, as they always have on people's blueprint. The only reason that we don't manifest what it is that we want, our desired outcome, is because we are not vibrationally aligned to it. So again, your blueprint is how you vibrationally align yourself. So I've been playing in the space of my blueprint and how I create my reality, and again, doing it very specific. So I know how I'm wired now, right? Which is super easy, blah, blah, blah. But how is that wiring able to translate itself into the like practical 3D reality? Because again, sometimes some of these things, they seem so fantastic, but like how do we ground it in? So I've been looking at my blueprint, my unique blueprint, and around money and business. Because again, I got notifications just making that go away. Because again, at the end of the day, for me, for my life right now, it's what I need. my life, I kind of had this plan. It hasn't gone quite how I had hoped, which means that I'm in a space where I figured by this point I would be somewhere different. It's not the case. So anyways, what does it ultimately mean? It means that I need more money. I need more income. So, oh my gosh, we're just gonna make that go away again. Although I'm like, I don't want her. It's my mom, and I'm going to as I'm still chatting, I'm going to see if I can pull this up somewhere here. You're just going to bear with me for a second because don't. There's so much fraud out right now, and she's just saying something, and I'm like, no, don't call it number, just in case, because you could basically give them access to things you don't want. Okay, focus back. So again, for me, so it's okay, so I know my blueprint, but again, how does that translate, and how do I bring that in? Because we're all so different. So some of us, we have to focus very specific goals, and I mean very specific. So you'd have to say I want to make 10K this month, and that be your focus, and then everything comes from there. Again, I'm not going to sit here and chat with you guys for hours to really try to explain it. And again, if I'm sharing my blueprint, which might not necessarily be yours. So I don't want you to take anything that I share here and be okay, that's what I'm going to do, because it's my blueprint, and all of it, we all have a unique blueprint. It's different for all of us. You may have aspects similar to me, but it might be very different. So that's one aspect, right? I need a very clear result in mind. That is a must. I need to know that different is very important. So I'm not meant to follow rigid structures or rituals. I can't get up every day and do this method and these affirmations day after day after day. I need variety. Very, very important. Variety is a must. So I need to know that there's going to be these seasons and shifts of what it is that I'm doing. Again, some of these manifestation techniques are rituals, right? And so if you're somebody who needs this variable energy, but you are doing consistent, you are every day, you're doing the same affirmations, again, and here's one of the things to it. So you may be focusing correctly here, you may be in the proper energy here, but over in you're doing that consistent when ultimately you should be in that variable energy. And so by doing that, you're actually you're on that vibrational teeter-totter, and you're push pull. And in some cases it could be where you manifest something, you get something, maybe you hit that 10K month, but then you don't again for the remainder of the year. Again, you should be able to get that and hold it month after month after month. Again, the vibrational thing, okay? So also I need to understand, for me, it's about contrast. So I get a lot of clarity through noticing what's not working, whereas not everybody does that, right? So this is why understanding our framework, and this is why everything that I share, everything that I teach, whether it is your divine soul blueprint in your life and business, what alignment means for you, whether it's your manifesting blueprint, how you do business, because again, we all do it differently. I'm meant to show up like this, but some of you out there are not going to. And if I tell you, or that course or that coach says, the person on social media is you just need to show up, and you just need to go live, and you just need to do this, but you do this, that actually is going to be detrimental to you. And that detriment can happen in your income. It can stagnate or it can decline. I went into a year-long mastermind with this incredible entrepreneur, and I was this is going to be fantastic. Yeah, my business completely dried up. Completely. Because I followed her structures and systems, and let me tell you, I know all this stuff. I help people with it, but I still fell. It just happens. So it's really brought me back home, and I will continue to speak until the day that I am no longer here, that like there's no one size fits all. So like I did that reel the other day, right? Where I talked about how that $10 framework, like just take my $10 framework, I'm going to share this with you, or even a freebie. Just do my method, just do this, just do that. And you try it and it doesn't work for you. Mm-hmm. And think about how much time you wasted and how much, if you did, even if like $10 is not much, but the time, right? The income that you lost, or if you invested in something like myself, I know clients, like a lot of money, and it have been wasted. So anyways, and like understanding too, right? So I'm looking at, because I am very much like, I'm the physical, that divine manifestation. People will hear that and they think, oh, obvious. Again, it is really all about that, but it's really about the physical. It's about that physical experience, that like grounding it in and everything like that. So for me, I have everything. Like I want it tangible. I need to be able to see this every day. I need to be able to check in and be like, okay, right? So what's feeling misaligned? What's frustrating right now, right? That's my contrast energy. Also too, like my intuition, that's the only compass that I need, because I am internal energy. So if I start looking outside of myself for the answers, then I'm going to pull myself out of alignment again. And maybe this is where you manifest one thing, but then like you're like, why can't I do that? Right? I manifested my car years ago so easily, but then struggled for probably the remainder of that year to be able to manifest anything big or tangible, and stuff. So yes, understanding again, like your framework. So I am able to look at this and be like, okay, this is exactly, what am I doing? Right? So I create wealth through initiating aligned action. Okay? Like again, like life pulls us so out of alignment, and the people in our life pull us so out of alignment. So I always have this stuff so I can check back in, right? So this is my specific blueprint in manifesting money, right? So again, I create wealth by initiating aligned action. So what money-making ideas, what business ideas, what things have I created but haven't actually shared? Because trust me, there's a lot of those. If I was coaching myself, I'm very kind, I'm very loving to myself, but if I was coaching myself, oh gosh, I'd be like, Lindsay, what the heck are you doing? Anyways, so this instigative energy for me, it is looking at what money-making ideas, what intuitive nudges have I been receiving and not doing anything with. I'm sitting on this energy, and that is the path, right? So again, I can kind of look back at this. I'm really playing in this energy and having so much fun with it. Like I can look at what's one bold, imperfect action that I can take today to start momentum. And sometimes that is just posting something messy. That is showing up like this, messy. Like this is the kind of thing. And when we do this, when we do all these little things, and again, people often think like, sometimes it's made out to be like, you spend $3,000 on that course and you're like, oh my gosh, there's all these steps. It's not that complicated. Like it really isn't. It's complicated if you're trying a whole bunch of things that are not aligned to you. But when you understand yours, then you're able to look at it. So yeah, like again, I have to be very specific. So like, what does a 10K month mean? Do I want a fully booked out practice? Like, do I want, X number of clients to do X number of sessions or this specific thing? Like, I have to be super specific. But if you're not outcome energy and you're focusing on being very specific, it's not going to work for you. So this is where the blueprint, like, I just love it. It really is. And so I've been playing around with, again, how can I take this? Because it's huge, and it's been leading me in this like playing around of my, as I mentioned in one of my stories, for the last year. It's like, okay, how do I take this and make this easy for people and also make it accessible? Because not everybody can jump into spending $5,000 and working with me for, 6 weeks, 12 weeks to like really be able to. So how can I, and some people too, honestly, okay, so if you have like my blueprint, you're actually not meant to work with a coach. So jumping into something like that with me is going to be more of a detriment to you than a benefit. So you just need this information and you need to go. Like that could be your energy. So how can I make this accessible to everybody? How can I make it so people can be able to just do this and manifest what, again, manifest is the buzzword, but like create whatever it is that they want in their life, in their business, in their relationship, with their health. Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Do you want to have a six pack? Do you, like, whatever, again, it might be. What is that for you? What do you want for you? So, maybe somebody, they've been in a relationship for 5 years and they're like, I really just want to get married. So again, this framework is for anything and everything. So I give you the basics of the framework for you. Obviously, we can go deeper and we can look into a specific, like if you're like, I want to manifest more money. I want my business to grow. I want whatever, like we can do that specific, right? I want to lose 20 pounds. We can look at that specific and how then the framework, but you can also take the framework and you can go, okay, how can I shift this to a different place? So I'm going to share, where is it? So because again, I've been playing with this for so long, and it's quite fun. So if I go into, the other thing too, so we can have where you're maybe trying to manifest money, but you've got stuff in health and wellness that is out of alignment. You're trying to like do something over there, again, because some expert, some YouTube video, the doctor on the news, whatever it might be, right? You're scrolling social media and it tells you, ooh, this is what you do. And so you're like, okay, I'll try that. But if it's not for you, then that's going to create this thing. There's somebody coming up my porch, but I think it's just a delivery. So again, like I need to, just looking at some, I wanted to share a specific. So knowing things, again, when I know my blueprint, here's an interesting thing again. So what we're told, right? So focusing on positive actually hinders my intention setting process. I need to focus on elimination. I need to focus on what's not working, what I don't want. I don't like this. That's what I need to focus on. But what are we told? Especially with manifesting, you need to be grateful, you need to be positive, you need to be high vibe and everything. So if I'm focusing on all of that, then I'm not going to do. When it comes to like my physical body and my weight and everything like that, it's my inner world. So I can look at myself in the mirror, which, trust me, this has been me the last year, and be like, I don't like how I look. I see a photo of myself and I'm like, oh God, who is that? But inside, I feel amazing. So that's not going to create that shift for me. I'm not focusing there right now. I'm focusing on the money, because that's the other thing too. Let me say, if we try to focus on, like, when I have clients and they come to me, I did a 4-month program, because there's a whole, like, honestly, it's quite incredible when we like really tap into understanding like our creator energy and how we have the ability and everything like this. But this 4-month program that I did, and quite often, like, some people, they come to me, they're like, well, I want a new relationship and I want, to triple my income. And I'm like, okay, that's fantastic, but you have to pick one or the other, because we can't do both. Because when we're trying to manifest multiple things at once, so if I was trying to do more money and lose 20 pounds, I'm in this push-pull, push-pull, push-pull. They're both on different vibrational frequencies. So think about everything that you want as a different radio station. So, or for my younger people who are like, they're like, radio station, what are you talking about? Like turning a dial on a radio station? Because yes, if I said that to my kids, they'd be like, huh? So I'll put it to you in another way. Think about Spotify, your Spotify playlist, or your Apple Music if you're on Apple Music. Maybe it's your Apple Music playlist. So think about that, okay? So you've got a playlist for like your relationship, you got a playlist for your money. But you want both. Well, you can't have both at the same time. So what's going to end up happening? You're going to click this playlist and it's going to start playing the song a little bit. And you're going to be like, okay, hold on. No, I want the money too. So then you're going to click this playlist and then it's going to play that one. And you're going to go back to this. You're not actually listening to any of the playlists, right? You're not actually making that playlist, that frequency, that playlist play to actually come into the physical. Because that's the thing, right? We create it in the ethers first before we ground it into the third dimensional reality. So you need that whole playlist to play. So you can't be doing 2 playlists at once, right? Go ahead, try it. Try switching between radio stations in your car. I mean, now most cars don't have the dial anymore, but like if you're of a certain age, like me, you get it, right? And you think of it like a whole old CD, right? You're gonna put it in a CD. Nope. Then I need the next one, and then you're gonna eject and do. Right? I think you get the concept of what I'm saying there. So if you want multiple things, you have to pick one to start. So anyways, for me, yeah, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I also want to manifest more money. So that's where I'm putting my focus. And so by doing that, what actually happens when you shift, very many less in here, but we all have this kind of vibrational spectrum. We have this vibrational spectrum and plasticity that we have the ability. And I mean, I can't really make my hands go into like a round circle, but like think about you're a round circle and you're here, right? And so your vibrational plasticity, like this is where you are. So everything you have, so if something is actually energetically probable, then it will fit within that circle. And if it's not, then it's outside of that circle. And so that relationship that you want could be over here. But again, that money could be down here. So again, you're pushing and pulling. But when you go to the money, you shift your vibrational frequency and you can actually expand then that circle. So now all of a sudden that relationship, or for me, say that 20 pounds that I want to lose, could pop into that. So that could actually very easily pop in when you're doing this. And that's quite often what happens. People who want multiple things in their life, they want multiple changes. Often when you put the focus on one, other things will pop in too, because you've shifted vibrationally. So that's where focusing on one thing is super, super important. And yeah, maybe the other thing happens as a byproduct of that. And quite often that happens when people put a focus on their job, their career, their business. The other thing that they wanted to usually pops in as well. So just putting that out there too. But yeah, that's why I understand like your blueprint. It just makes it super, super easy. So you don't need to take some expensive course, and you don't need to spend hours on YouTube watching videos and trying all of these methods and everything like that, because they may actually not work for you. And worse, they may be detrimental to you and your energy. So I see some of you just popped on, but now I'm about to sign off because I got to go deal with this thing with my mom. But maybe I'll save this so that people can come back and watch it afterwards. So yeah, for those of you who just popped in, this is basically all about manifesting in your business. And sharing kind of my personal experience about like bringing in more money. My main way right now is through more clients, but there's some other ways that I'm doing that as well too. So, because it doesn't always have to come. Sometimes we need to be open. I want it to come through the path of least resistance. And that's one of the things that I put out there as well too. But I also know that I'm meant to help other people understand this stuff and be able to create this in their lives and their business and everything. Because like It's all intertwined. We are whole beings, and everything is all intertwined. So yeah, that's that. Thank you everybody who did watch this and live with me, or even on the replay. And if you've got any questions, pop them into the comments, and I'm happy to. And if you don't want to pop it into the comments, because I know some people are like hesitant about that, just send me a DM. And if you want to like know your own blueprint, yeah. So I started off talking about like this new thing that I did. I want to make it like super easily accessible to everybody. So if you want to know yours, just let me know and I'll give you the link. Take care.